What's up, everyone? Jeremy Gerard from Mythic Customs here with one of my short customizing tutorial videos. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a really cool custom, really using some very simple parts, a little bit of pop and swap, a little bit of painting, and you can create a Mind Flayer for your collection. Now, a Mind Flayer is a very popular type of creature that is unique to Dungeons and Dragons. So unlike a lot of characters and creatures that are part of mythology, that minotaurs and elves and dwarves that you will see in the Mythic Legions line, Mind Flayers were created specifically by Dungeons and Dragons, so they are unique to that property. So it's something you're never going to see officially in the Mythic Legions line. However, there are a number of really cool third-party sites out there that sell squid heads that work really well as a fill-in for a Mind Flayer. Mind Flayers are these very octopus, squid-like looking characters, almost like a wizard with a squid head. So they've got a very Cthulhu-type look to it. So anyone that's created more Lovecraftian-type heads, or if they do animal heads and they did a squid, those work really well as a fill-in for Mind Flayers. There's a number of options out there. I'm going to show you one that I use, and I'm going to take you through step-by-step kind of this particular project here. The great thing about this project is there's essentially one base figure that you're going to need for it, and that is a Poxus Wave Arazak. So a lot of times Mind Flayers are pictured wearing like purple type robes. They're pictured wearing having a tall collar. This figure has both of those. It's got those black robes. It's got that high collar. So if you get a Poxus Wave Arazak, which at the time that I'm recording this video is readily available from Four Horsemen Studios, a worldwide network of retailers, that's going to be your first piece there. Now, obviously, we're going to replace the head. We're going to replace the hands as well. A cool thing is Mind Flayers tend to have somewhat monstrous hands. So the figure that I'm going to use for that is going to be a Cosmic Legion's Aescypidian. Now, this is another figure that, as of this recording, is still available from Four Horsemen Studios' worldwide network of retailers. And super cool, this figure comes with multiple hands. So if you buy one of these figures, it's not like you're going to be cannibalizing his hands and then you're going to have a handless figure that you've got to figure out what to do with. Because it comes with multiple hands, you will be able to use a couple of them for your new Mind Flayer, and you'll still have this very cool gray alien Aescypidian to use for your collection. The two that I actually have them with here, these more expressive hands, those are the ones that I'm going to actually use for this Mind Flayer custom. Now, let me bring up a little example here so we can show you what we're going to be building. So this is the final piece, the final product of what we're creating here. This is that Arazak body. The Arazak body does come with a belt. I elected not to put the waist belt on just so it gives it more of a flow. It doesn't cinch it at the waist as much. Totally up to you how you want this to be displayed. If you put the belt on and you put little pouches, Arazak comes with like some pouches and like a little skull piece, that like a bird skull that clips on there. You could accessorize how you see fit. I opted not to use any accessories here. The head that we're going to be using here, this is actually a head from Wolf King Customs. So take another look at the figure here and how it looks. This is a more pose type of thing. He's kind of calling down some power. This is the head we're going to be creating. So what I did here is this head is from Wolf King Customs, and I mentioned that there's a number of creators out there, third-party companies that sell similar type squid heads. This is just the one that I chose for this tutorial. You can see it on the Wolf King Customs page. It's called Squid Head. Super easy paint job on this. All I did with this was I took that head that came just resin like you see in the photo on the left here. I spray painted it black. Once it was spray painted black, and I also did the hands as well. I took Aescypidian's hands, I spray painted those black, had a nice base to work with. Then what I did was I dry brushed on a little purple, and you can see paint colors right here. That Vallejo 959 purple is what I dry brushed on. The amount you dry brush will help you determine how dark that purple is going to look. I liked there to be a little metallic glint to it as well. So what I did on mine is, after I was happy with the purple coverage that I got, I then used this Deco Art metallic amethyst, and I dry brushed a little bit of that on just to get that, little bit of metallic type piece there. The eyes on this, just a little bit of white with a nice fine brush, painted those white eyes there. I did the same thing to the hands. So the hands on this Mind Flayer figure as well, I did exactly the same. The only other thing I did, and you can't really see it in this photo because it's so dark, I replaced the feet as well, just because I liked my figures to have unusually large feet. I like that monstrous look that it created for this particular figure. So all I did was replace the 2.0 feet that Arzak comes with a pair of the 1.0 leather feet that I had in my fodder bin. Realistically, any of them will work. And that's all it takes here. This is one of those projects. If you've, wanted to get started with customizing and you've watched my videos on like start with the dots. So that's a very popular video that I did that a lot of customizers have used as their springboard, where they get like a Legion builder figure and they start just by painting the little details, the rivets and the buckles and so forth. This is another similar type of project that is a level that is super, super easy, and it allows you to work with 3D parts. So if you've never worked with 3D parts, this is a great one to get started with, because it's not like you're trying to do paint matching. It's not like you're trying to paint, flesh or eyeballs on like a dwarf or a human character. Those are all much more complex projects to start with. This is a very easy project to start with because you're not trying to paint match anything. The level of purple that you get to it is totally up to you, or you could use other colors as well. Mind Flayers have been represented with different colors, in artistic representations over the years. Purple is typically the most common. That's the one that I wanted to do here. Some other things that you could do if you want to take it even another level. Let me go back to some of these other images. This has got pretty typical proportions because it uses that Arzak body underneath. If instead, let me bring this down. If instead you wanted to make more use of this Ayas figure, the fact that this figure has such oversized arms and upper legs, you could actually pop and swap and use these. This is what's called a 2.0 body, and it's totally compatible. Let me bring up here, totally compatible with the Arzak. So if you pop out this arm at the shoulder and you pop out this arm, they're totally compatible with each other. So if you wanted your Flayer character to have even more elongated, unnatural limbs, you could mix and match some of these pieces. Whether or not you paint them is up to you. They're underneath the robe. This is that completed figure here. The limbs are underneath the robe, so you're not going to see them anyway. So if you don't want to paint those parts and you're okay with knowing that they're gray underneath the robe, you could do that. Or if you wanted to paint them, base them out in black, use that same process that I just mentioned, a little dry brushing purple, maybe a little metallic on top, and you'll be able to do that as well. So really, really easy. This is the kind of project that is going to take you a short amount of time to do, but when you're done, you're going to have something new, something unique, something identifiable for your collection. Great way to get started, great way to get that customizing bug and get excited for the possibilities that both Mythic Legions and Cosmic Legions offers from a pop and swap and a customizing standpoint. If you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more like this, certainly let me know in the comments. Give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, I can't wait to see what you make.